Now, the deadly novel coronavirus continues to wreak havoc. There are, as of now, 1,024 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in India. 901 of these cases are active. 27 people have died. 95 people have recovered. Now, the new cases include a doctor and a junior commissioner officer in the Indian Army. It's day 6 of the nationwide lockdown. The Indian Council of Medical Research, the ICMR, it's what we keep referring to as ICMR, has maintained that there is no community transmission yet. You'll remember community transmission is defined when a majority of the cases can't be traced to their original source. ICMR is maintaining that hasn't started in India yet, though a number of experts do disagree. The states of Maharashtra, Kerala, Delhi NCR, they've all been identified as the major hotspots where the maximum number of cases have been reported. Now, my colleague, CNN NEWS18's Sneha Murdani, who tracks the health ministry, spoke to the chief scientist of the ICMR. Take a look at the conversation they both had first.
Just give us an indication of what is the number like. You said insignificant, but why is it that that doesn't then fall into the category of community transmission? Please explain, sir.
अभी इसमें नहीं कम्युनिटी ट्रांसमिशन आप फिर बार वही बोल रहे हैं. देखिए जो कम्युनिटी ट्रांसमिशन है या नहीं है ये बोलने के लिए जितना ठोस सबूत लगता है वो हमारे पास अभी तक आया नहीं. अब रहा सवाल ये कि ये जो स्पोरेडिक केसेस हैं ये स्पोरेडिक केसेस से हमको क्या नज़र आता है. एक ही चीज़ नज़र आती है कि बेसिकली कई स्टेट्स में एक आध दो आदमी ऐसे बोलते हैं कि मेरा कोई एक्सपोजर नहीं हुआ. लेकिन एक्सपोजर नहीं हुआ, मैं अगर ऐसे कहूं कि एक स्टेट में एक केस दिखी तो उसका अर्थ क्या लिया जाएगा? वो पूरे स्टेट में कम्युनिटी ट्रांसमिशन शुरू होगा.
What is the conclusion then you draw from that?
No, the conclusion is their numbers are still so small that you can't paint any state or a district with a plain brush. So you need to have adequate evidence.
In spite of private labs also testing, you said there are 47 of them, and yes, the government labs are also testing quite a bit. Why is that the per day testing, you roughly gave that figure of 2,000, am I correct? Is that not low given the fact that so many labs are testing as well?
But I can say only one thing. I don't know what else can I reply. That we haven't refused any case. We continue to offer test. I don't know rest of it.
And the kind of increase that we're seeing on a day-wise basis, for example, yesterday we saw 24 hours, 149 new cases. Is it obviously because of more testing that there are more revelations of this nature?
No, I don't think it is only testing. It's a distribution mix, no? Where the testing has occurred, how many in which state in relationship with others. Things will differ by that.
Aggressive contact tracing also?
Very much.
Three colleagues of mine are with us this morning to bring us updates from across the country. We have Radhika, she's with us live from Mumbai. Purnima is with us live from Chennai. And Amit Singh is with us live from Patna this morning to bring us updates. Now, I'm going to go over first to you, Purnima. You're, of course, with us in Chennai. What about some stunning numbers coming in from Chennai? 17,000, more than 17,000 people arrested by the police, 11,000 vehicles detained. This is just in the last 4 days. Tell us a little bit more about what the police is doing right now to contain traffic. I also just want to share with audiences, I think it's in Chennai that there was the coronavirus helmet-wearing police officer that went viral. Tell us a little bit more about police efforts in these last few days.
Well, as you were rightly saying, there are different initiatives taken by the police officers. Some of them are giving punishments like asking people to do squats. Some of them are seizing the vehicles. Different teams at different checkpoints are giving different kinds of punishments. But one interesting and one thing that went viral was a police officer wearing a corona-like helmet to convey the message about why people should stay indoors, why venturing out for the next two odd weeks is important to contain the spread of virus. So this is something that the police officers are doing. Some of them are trying to sing songs to convey a message about coronavirus, and they are also using songs related to superstar Rajnikant. So different kinds of police officers are doing different things. There are police officers at checkpoints. Thousands of cases have been registered against those violating the lockdown, and also their vehicles have been seized. So clearly police officers doing round-the-clock monitoring of the situation here to ensure that people don't step out. Some of them are splashing water with turmeric water. So different punishments are given to ensure that people stay indoors, considering that during the lockdown phase, some of them venturing out do not have valid reasons, and police officials think that stern punishment would help them understand the significance of why it is important to stay indoors. So that's why you see different viral videos from Chennai as well doing the rounds. So far, 50 positive cases have been registered across Tamil Nadu. 5 have recovered, 1 died. So this is the update from Tamil Nadu. On the other hand, the lockdown continues. Only essential services are made available for the people, and police officials trying to monitor the situation and contain the movement of vehicles and public movement on the roads. Back to you.
Purnima, stay with us. Thank you for bringing us that picture from the ground. I'm now going to go over to our colleague Radhika, who's with us live from Mumbai. Radhika, 2 parts to this question. First, obviously, could you bring us, Maharashtra and Mumbai in particular's most updated numbers, because it obviously has been a city in focus over the last few days. But also, Maharashtra and Mumbai, again in particular, are a migrant hotspot. It's a migrant center. Tell me a little bit more. Obviously, as we were telling our audiences, Uddhav Thackeray tried to make another, calming statement for migrants on Sunday. He asked them not to panic, but I want to know if that is filtering down to the ground to migrants who are there on the ground. Are they feeling comforted by the state's measures?
As far as how the migrant workers are reacting to what the state government is saying, well, there are people who are still wanting to return to their homes. We saw thousands of people walking back to their homes, huddled into vans, goods buses, and trying to go back to their homes. Of course, majority of them, at least about 20 to 30,000 of them, are wanting to go back homes, and we've seen that over the last 2 to 3 days. But there are many who are staying back. There are many who are hopeful too. As far as what the state government is doing, it has been making those appeals over the last 2 to 3 days to stay put in Maharashtra itself. There have been high-level meetings with collectors of each district asking them to ensure that all of these migrant workers are provided with shelter, which is why there are at least about 260 shelter homes right now in the city, right now in the state, to provide shelter to more than 70,000 of these migrant laborers and homeless people. So we are talking about 70,000 people who can be protected under the state government scheme. Many schools, colleges, government offices and under construction buildings are being turned into shelter homes so that all these people can be provided shelter there. There are at least about 20,000 food centers that have been launched across the state for these migrant workers, and also financial scheme of 120 crore financial scheme also being rolled out to protect these migrant workers. And of course there is this talk, which is I think across the country level, of giving 1,000 rupees per head per month to all of these workers who are currently jobless. Of course, they do not have a roof over their heads. They are not able to afford the rents that they've been giving in these shanties and slums where they've been staying in. They're out of their jobs because these are people who are working in construction units, manufacturing units, small restaurants, small hotels. So right now their focus is to have roof over their head, have food, have water, which is why they feel that going back to their hometowns is the best available option in front of them, which is why they are making all the effort to go back to their homes. But state government ensuring not just to these migrant workers but also to the respective chief ministers of all of these states where they've come from, that they have a home to go to in the state of Maharashtra. They will have a roof over their head. They will be protected, and there will be food and water provided to them. So that's an assurance given by the state at the moment. Some of them are staying back. Some of them are still making that journey to their hometowns in Gujarat or in Rajasthan. So that's also being witnessed. We also saw just about 5-6 days back the exodus that we witnessed in the CST station, thousands of them thronging to get into that last train to go back to their hometowns. Yes, right now they are left with no choice. The borders are sealed at the moment. So therefore the government's appeal to stay put in Maharashtra itself and that they will be protected. As far as the numbers in Maharashtra is concerned, it stands at 203 positive cases. Mumbai being the largest with more than 80 positive cases. And we are talking about 8 deaths in the state of Maharashtra. Of the 203 positive cases, 36 people have been discharged from various hospitals in Maharashtra. So that's some good news. 36 people have been cured and discharged from the hospitals. So that's the status as far as Maharashtra numbers are concerned. 203 is the number we are talking about, but every day we are seeing a rise by at least 20 across the state. So we'll have to wait and see how things will pan out as far as numbers are concerned today. So, but that's the status as far as Maharashtra is concerned, be it about the migrants or be it in terms of the numbers that we are talking about, which is one of the largest in the country.
Radhika, thank you. So Mumbai obviously is a state that is heavy in terms of the number of migrants it gets from other states. But to bring our audiences now the other picture, states that have migrants leaving them to go work in other states. We have my colleague Amit Singh. He's with us from Patna. And Amitji, I'm just going to come over to you, but give me one more second. I do want to inform our audiences that one of the things the centre has said is that now that the migrants have returned to the state must ensure that they be kept in 14 days of quarantine. It's to come to know more about that I'm now going to go over to our colleague Amit Singh. He's with us in Patna. Amit जी हमारे साथ आज जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद. अब अमित जी मैं जानना चाहती हूँ आपसे कि सरकार की तरफ से अभी जो हजारों लोग बाहर से आए हैं राज्य के अंदर, अब जो राज्य है, जो सरकार है, कैसे देखेगी कि ये लोग क्वारंटीन में रहे 14 दिनों के लिए?
देखिए, सरकार के लिए एक बड़ी चुनौती है और बड़ी चुनौती इस मायने से है क्योंकि हज़ारों लाखों की संख्या में जो लोग बिहार से बाहर या तो फिर मजदूरी करते हैं, दिहाड़ी मजदूरी करते हैं और या किसी भी अपने रोजी रोज़गार के लिए वो बाहर में है, देश के कोने कोने में है, उन लोगों को सही सलामत आपको बिहार के बॉर्डर तक लाना है. बिहार के बॉर्डर पे तमाम जो बिहार की जो सीमाएं हैं वो सील कर दी गई हैं. तो सरकार के लिए एक बड़ी चुनौती है. सरकार एक्शन में भी है. हम बार बार इस बात को इसलिए कह रहे हैं क्योंकि मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार लगातार बैठकें कर रहे हैं और इस पे नज़र है, अपने अधिकारियों के साथ सीधे संपर्क में है और इस पे नज़र है कि जो लोग बिहार के सीमावर्ती इलाके पे पहुंच रहे हैं, बसों से पहुंच रहे हैं, उन लोगों को उनके गांव तक पहुंचाना है सही सलामत. पहले स्क्रीनिंग हो रही है, जो बॉर्डर जहां पे है वहां पे स्क्रीनिंग हो रही है तमाम लोगों की. उसके बाद वहां से गांव जब जा रहे हैं तो वहाँ जो जिला स्कूल है या जो भी कॉलेजेस हैं या सामुदायिक भवन हैं, वहाँ पे लोगों को 14 दिन के क्वारंटाइन में रखा जा रहा है. तो यानी तमाम इन चीज़ों का ख्याल रखा जा रहा है कि जो गलतियाँ या जो चूक पहले हो चुकी हैं, 1-2 गलतियाँ हुई हैं, जो सैफ के जो मामला हम आपको बता रहे थे कि जो सैफ है, जिसको जो मुंगेर के रहने वाला जिसकी कोरोना से मौत हुई है, उसके चलते 8 लोग पॉजिटिव पाए गए हैं. कई और लोग भी संदिग्ध हो सकते हैं. लेकिन ये जो खतरा है उसके मद्देनज़र जो है सरकार काफ़ी एक्शन में है. सरकार काफ़ी सजग है. वो समझती है कि अगर एक भी छोटी सी भी चूक होती है तो जो लोग बिहार के बाहर जो मजदूरी कर रहे हैं, जो बिहार में आना चाहते हैं, अपने घरों तक आना चाहते हैं, तो पूरी सावधानी के साथ तमाम जो स्वास्थ्य केंद्र बनाए गए हैं, जो राहत शिविर बनाए गए हैं, वहाँ पे सही तरीके से उनकी जांच हो. अगर वो जांच में वो निगेटिव पाए जाते हैं तब भी उनको 14 दिन के क्वारंटाइन में रख के उसके बाद ही उनको घर भेजा जाएगा. तो सरकार इस बात को लेकर आश्वस्त करना चाहती है लोगों को. जो आपदा प्रबंधन विभाग है वो लगातार तमाम जो 94 राहत शिविर बनाए गए हैं, केंद्र बनाए गए हैं, वहाँ पे मॉनिटरिंग कर रहा है. कई जगहों पे लोगों को खाने की व्यवस्था की जा रही है. लेकिन सबसे महत्वपूर्ण और सबसे जो बड़ी जानकारी है वो ये है कि जो भी बिहार से बाहर के जो लोग हैं, वो जो बिहार आना चाहते हैं, सरकार ने बहुत अच्छी कोशिश की है. और नीतीश कुमार ने न सिर्फ जो नोडल ऑफिसर तमाम जो राज्य में हैं उनसे सीधे संपर्क में है, बल्कि तमाम जो बड़े अधिकारी हैं वो लगातार इस कोशिश में हैं.
अमित जी हमारे लिए वो जानकारी लाने के लिए धन्यवाद. It of course, Radhika, thank you so much for joining us. Purnima, thank you also for joining us and bringing us those stories from across the country. The next few days and the next few weeks are of course going to tell us more about how the state has coped with this and how migrants have fared, how they felt in these last few days. Now, the Ministry of Home Affairs on its part has suspended 2 senior Delhi government officers. It's also served a show cause notice to 2 others for what it's calling serious lapses in duty during the ongoing lockdown. There was, as you already know, over the weekend a large-scale exodus of migrant workers from Delhi after the announcement of the lockdown. Now, this posed obviously a serious threat to the issue of community transmission. A Home Ministry spokesperson said that the officers prima facie failed in their duty to ensure strict compliance to the lockdown instructions. Hence, they endangered the health of the public. Meanwhile, concerned over immigrant movement that can cause a community spread, the centre's asked state governments and union territory administrators to seal all state and district borders. All state governments have also been directed to build temporary shelter homes.
हेल्थ के लिए जैसे कि हमारी गाइडलाइंस थी, जो हमारे इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवलर्स हमारे देश में आते थे तो एयरपोर्ट पर गाइडलाइन थी कि आने के बाद उनका रिस्क प्रोफाइलिंग किया जाएगा। हेल्थ रिस्क प्रोफाइल के बेसिस पर अगर ज़रूरत होगी तो उनको फैसिलिटी क्वारंटाइन किया जाएगा गवर्नमेंट फैसिलिटी में, और अगर हमें लगता है कि हेल्थ रिस्क प्रोफाइल में वो हाई रिस्क में नहीं आते हैं तो उनको सूटेबल एडवाइस दी जाएगी कि वो होम क्वारंटाइन करें आने वाले 14 दिन के लिए। इस तरह की डायरेक्शन ऑलरेडी स्टेट्स को दी जा चुकी है।
एसेंशियल सप्लाईज भी मेंटेन हो रही हैं, परंतु जैसा आप सबको पता है देश के कुछ भागों में माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स का मूवमेंट देखा गया है और इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में स्टेट्स और यूटीज को स्ट्रिक्ट निर्देश जारी किए गए हैं कि वे डिस्ट्रिक्ट और स्टेट के बॉर्डर्स को इफेक्टिवली सील करें। शहरों के बीच में और हाईवेज पर लोगों का मूवमेंट ना हो, सिर्फ गुड्स का मूवमेंट हो। It has to be a multi-pronged approach. On one hand, you have to generate awareness. On the other hand, you have to also enforce these measures in the best possible way that you can do.
My colleague Arunima is with us. She tracks the MHA. She's with us live this morning to bring us more on this. Arunima, thank you so much for joining us. Arunima, two questions for you. The first, could you detail for us how the officers against who action was taken, how they were connected to what we saw take place across the capital, what their direct connection to it was? Could you also explain for us when the centre has come out and when the Union Ministry has said that now all borders should be sealed in districts and in states for the 14-day quarantine that they're planning or they've said should be put down by states? Who is going to enforce that and how is that going to be carried out in states where millions, lakhs and lakhs of people have returned?
Okay, so the district SP and collectors have been made responsible for enforcing strict lockdown and also for taking measures as mandated by Government of India in the notification that have been issued by Ministry of Home Affairs. So it's the SP and the collector who will be held responsible. Now, coming back to your earlier question about who these officers are, the officers against whom action have been proposed, the Transport Secretary, the State Home Secretary, the Divisional Commissioner, as well as the SDM of the Seelampur area. The charge against them is that even though the lockdown had been enforced, they went against the guideline and the order issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs, allowed the migrants to gather at Anand Vihar. The charge is also that they provided buses to these migrants. Some of those buses of DTC carried them from Anand Vihar to Hapur, and that, according to the central government, led to this rumor that if migrants reach Anand Vihar, there are buses available from there. There are facilities that the government is providing from there. So that's the charge against them, based on which a suspension order has been issued against the Transport Secretary. Show cause notice has been issued to the other people. But the question that the government is not able to answer is that if Delhi government has been held guilty of providing buses till Hapur, the Uttar Pradesh government also sent its own buses to Anand Vihar to ferry people because there was such a huge crowd that had gathered there. You couldn't really have left them there. So in that case, is some action being contemplated against the UP government officials as well? Or is the MHA leaving that decision to the state government of Uttar Pradesh, since the jurisdiction in this case is that of UP state government? Delhi is a typical case where the Ministry of Home Affairs is the nodal ministry for services.
Arunima, I want to understand from you, we were talking earlier about this question of, whether or not the government itself was surprised by the gathering of people and the exodus and the scale that it took place on. But I also want to ask you, that, but also when it comes to these officers, particularly these IS officers, we're unlikely to get any kind of justification from them in the next few days. But what was the reasoning in their own decisions?
So like I said, I mean, the Delhi government's explanation was that these migrants had started gathering at Anand Vihar. Not just Anand Vihar. If you went anywhere around Delhi NCR on the Agra Expressway, which is the Noida expressway which takes you to Agra. If you went on National Highway 8, which connects Noida to Gurgaon, any highway that you saw in the Delhi NCR region, thousands of people were walking. But Anand Vihar really became a huge worry because there were so many people. I think the numbers would be in lakhs. I mean, so many people had gathered there, and the very purpose of the lockdown was getting defeated. The lockdown was enforced so that people-to-people transmission of coronavirus didn't happen. Social distancing was maintained. People stayed at home. The very purpose of that lockdown was getting defeated by these migrant workers. and there was no other way to get them moving from there. The Delhi government thought perhaps that it was best to give them transport so that they go wherever they wanted to go and just sanitize the Anand Vihar area. However, the flip side of it is that if these people, even one person is COVID positive, if they're all in one bus, there is a risk that the entire busload could get infected. If they reach their respective village, block or district or even town, there is a risk that they would carry that infection to the rural areas. So that is why MHA is unhappy.
Anuma, thank you so much for bringing us those details and also particularly for highlighting exactly what we've seen across the NCR region over the last few days. As you just said, lakhs of migrant workers gathering, trying to make their way back to their homes across the entire country. There were stories of people being killed as they attempted to walk all their way home, people dying from the exhaustion. We'll continue to bring you reports from the ground of those stories, particularly as those migrants now make it back to their home states. Let's move very quickly, though, from this story to a different story. Yesterday, the Prime Minister gave his Mann Ki Baat address, and it was his first address to the nation during this lockdown. The Prime Minister asked and was asked about his fitness routine, what he's doing to stay safe and keep fit in these hours. And the Prime Minister very much in that relation today shared animated videos of simple yoga asanas that everyone can do at home. I think so. All of this was obviously in an attempt to encourage Indians to embrace yoga and to stay fit. 17 videos were shared in 24 different languages for the benefit of everyone who wants to learn the Prime Minister's fitness routine. Now, my colleague Payal Mehta is with us this morning. She's our special correspondent. She's here with us to bring us more. Payal, what these videos make clear is that there's obviously been a lot of effort poured into them when it comes to, just animating, but also putting together something that can be seen by citizens of all ages. So an obvious effort coming in from the government at this time and from the Prime Minister at this time. He's been a big advocate of yoga so far, right?
Well, absolutely. The Prime Minister has been one of the biggest advocates of yoga, and that's one of the reasons every year on the 21st of June, you have the International Yoga Day being celebrated, not just in India, but across the entire globe, across 121 countries, and the UN itself has endorsed this particular move of the Indian government, and we have the International Yoga Day celebration. Having said that, yoga is something which the Prime Minister advocates and follows each and every day. You can see that in his tweet. He's written that this is his routine every single day, because this not only speaks about a healthy body, but also speaks about a healthy mind as well, which is both the need of the hour and the important aspect right now, because people are obviously not only spending time behind closed doors, but they're also getting mentally agitated as well. So to calm their nerves also, yoga is extremely critical, and that's the reason the Prime Minister put out those series of tweets and put out those series of videos through his Twitter handle as well, which will tell you how to practice yoga. The important aspect about yoga is that you can do it within the four walls of your house. You don't have to establish any physical contact with anyone, and you can do it all by yourself. It's not like, it's not like a group exercise that you have to keep doing, or it's not like hitting the gym where you have to actually step out of your house. So obviously, right, so obviously that's the reason the Prime Minister is advocating for this.
Thank you so much for bringing us those details. That tweet obviously just came out a few minutes ago. Now, that is all that we have for you here on the Morning News. Thank you so much for watching the show. Remember to please keep washing your hands and taking all the necessary precautions that you can. Thanks for joining us here on CNN News 18.